morning, everyone. So online, is my voice is audible to you all? Can you confirm in chat box once so that I can move? Yeah, great. So from the last class, any doubt? So actually, we have discussed about the introduction of DevOps, right? Tools used in DevOps. So that's great. In this class, we are going to talk about the servers. What is it? Servers. So actually, we are dealing with daily applications, right? Okay, na? So daily we are using the application. Now, what is meant by application? Anybody has any idea? So let's say I'm using daily Paytm. Paytm is an application. I am using WhatsApp. WhatsApp is an application. I am using Instagram. Instagram is an application. I am using Snapshot. I mean Snapchat. Okay, now it's an application. Now, what is meant by application? I'm using Phone Pay, Google Pay, right? We are using the number of applications there. So, what is meant by application? So, online, anybody has any idea? So, whether it is right or wrong, you can answer. So, let me tell you what is meant by application. Application is nothing but group of services. What is it? Group of services. So, let's say I'm having Paytm application here. So, this is one of the application, right? In that Paytm application, I am having recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets, DTH. Okay, now. So metro tickets I am having. So group of services together called application. Okay, now. Clear for all of you. Online. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Super. So group of services together called application. So actually, I want to ask you one question. Wherever application will present. So totally in my phone or in my Play Store or in my server, wherever application will present, phone, Play Store, and then server. I am having wherever application will present, server. Where it will present, server. Great, super, Shivan. So ultimately, our application will present on the server. Now, what is meant by server? So daily I am using Chrome server, right? Okay, now Firefox. So Microsoft Enterprise. Okay, now, so I am using daily servers. Now, what is meant by server? The database. Okay. So online. Anybody has any idea what is meant by server? So if you go to the internet, you will get a lot of definitions. So service provider. Great. Great, great. So ultimately, I will tell you one, simple definition. Server is nothing but which provide the need of end user. That's it. So if you go to the internet, you will get the hell lot of definitions. So ignore all those definitions. So follow my words. Server is nothing but which provide the need of end user. Okay, now. So let me open the Chrome. So Chrome is one of the server, right? Most popular server. Okay, now. So this is my Chrome. So when I have opened my Chrome, so this one. So this is my Chrome. So when I have opened my Chrome, so totally I'm hitting the paytm.com. So ultimately, my Chrome server is providing my to me Paytm services or not. So ultimately, this is the server. And also, when I have opened the Chrome and search for Netflix, ultimately Chrome server is providing me Netflix services. Nothing but a server. Server is nothing but which provides the need of end user. Okay, na? So this is my Netflix application. Okay, na? And also not for the Netflix, aha, we are having, right? So anything is fine. So server is nothing but which provides the need of end user. That's it. So online clear for all of you about the server. Great. Super. So then next, types of servers. So the next topic is about types of servers. So basically, we are having three types of servers. How many types? Three types of servers. So the first one is about web server. First one is about web server. So the second one is about app server. Second one is about app server. So the third one is about database server. What is it? Database server. So totally how many servers we are having? How many types of servers? Three. So the first one is about web server. Second one is about app server. Third one is about database server. So totally we are having three types of servers. So let us discuss one by one. What is meant by web server? What is meant by app server? What is meant by database server? So until then, online clap for all of you. Great. So now, so the first one is about web server. First one is about web server. So web server is nothing but which provides the UI part of our application. Okay, na? Which provides the UI part of our application. UI part of application. Okay, na? So the first point. Web server is nothing but which provides the UI part of our application. So then next, who will work on web server? Okay, we are having UI UX team. Who will work? UI UX team. So the next point, which type of technologies they will use? They will use CSS, HTML, okay na, Java, and then React, Angular. So this type of technologies UI UX team will use on the web server. Okay na? So only click for all of you. Yes. So then next, where it will present? Our web server, where it will present? And in the presentation layer. Where it will present? Presentation layer. We are having the OSA layers. I will tell at some point of time. So meanwhile, web server, where it will present? Presentation layer. Okay, na? So now, clear for all of you about the web server. So totally we have discussed about the 4 points. So the first one is about web server. What it will provide? UI part of our application. Okay, now who will work on the web server? UI UX team. Okay, now which type of technologies they will use? CSS, HTML, Java, React, as well as Angular. Okay, now. So where it will present? Presentation layer. Clear na? So then next. So after web server, what we are having? App server. What we are having? App server. So this is my app server, let's say. So the first one, app server is nothing but wherever logics was present, wherever services was present. So see here. So when I have opened the Chrome, so totally I have opened my Chrome here. So when I have hit enter the paytm.com, see, automatically I'm getting the UI part. This is nothing but the web server. Okay now. So when I have click on the bus services, it is going to redirect, right? Redirect to the another page, nothing but our app server. Okay now. So online clear for all of you. So this is my UI part. So the paytm.com, this is the UI part, nothing but web server. So in the UI part, I have click on the bus services. So ultimately it is going to redirect to the bus services, nothing but here app service. Okay, na? So online clear for all of you. App service, wherever logic was present, wherever services was present, nothing but app service. Online, I haven't get any response here. So remaining, clear app service. App service is nothing, app server is nothing but wherever logic was present. Okay, na? That's it. So the first point is about the logic. So the next one, who will work on the app server? Means we are having the developers. Who will work on the app server? Developers. Nothing but dev team will work on the app server. So the next one, which type of technologies they will use? They will use Java, they will use .NET, they will use Python, okay, na C hash, C++. We are having the number of technologies, right? So according to our wish, they will work on the app server. Okay, na? So the next one, where it will present? App server, where it will present? Okay, logic layer. Where it will present? Logic layer. Okay, na? So now, totally, what we have discussed from the first, what is meant by server? What is meant by server? So from the first again, what is meant by server? Server is nothing but which provides the need of end user. Okay, now server is nothing but which provides the need of end user. So totally, how many types of servers we are having? Three types. What are they? Web server, app server, database server. Okay, na? So I have discussed about the web server. Okay, now. So what is meant by web server? Yeah, which provides the UI part of our application. Who will work on the web server? UI, UX team. Which type of technologies they will use? CSS, HTML, Java, React, Angular. So where it will present? Presentation layer. So totally I have discussed about the app server also. So what is meant by app server? Where our logic was present. Who will work on the app server? Dev team. Okay, now which type of technologies they will use? Java, okay, now .NET, C, okay, now C++, Python. We are having the number of technologies. So where it will present? Logic layer. Okay, now where it will present? Logic layer. So online claim for all of you about these points. Yes. Great, super. So the next one is about database server, right? So let's say I'm going to open my Paytm server, Paytm application. So I'm trying to book my bus ticket. So I need to mention my all the details, right? I need to pass my all the details. Let's say I'm from where to. Okay, now. So next, in which time I'm going to travel. Okay, now. So all the details I need to be passed. So my name, my phone number. Okay, now. All the details I need to pass. But where my details was saying means in the database server. Where it is going to say database server. Okay, now. So who will work on the database server? Means ultimately we are having DBT. Okay, now. We are having database team. Okay, now. So which type of technologies they will use? They will use SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, Cosmos DB, MongoDB. Okay, now. So we are having the number of technologies. According to our wish, they will work on it. Where it will present? Backend. Okay, now. Where it will present? Backend. So online play for all of you about the database server. Database server is nothing but which stores our information. Okay, now. We store our information. Who will work on the database server? Database team. Okay, now. Which type of technologies they will use? SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, Cosmos DB. So we are having the number of technologies. Okay, now. So where it will present? Backend. Clear now? So online clear for all of you about the three servers. So remaining. Great. Super, super. So then next. So the next point is about installation of servers. What is it? Installation of servers. So before going to tell about the installation of servers, let me give one example. So let's say this is the water. Okay, no? So this is the water. So basically water was in which color? This is my water. Basically water was in which color? Transparent, right? Ultimately it was in transparent. So when I have dropped the red color over the plain water, what will happen? Color will change into the red. So ultimately red water. So when I have dropped the green, ultimately what will happen? Green color. Okay now. So when I have dropped the blue, ultimately what will happen? Blue color. So when I have dropped the pink, ultimately what will happen? Pink color water. So in the same manner, in the plain server. So let's say this is my plain server. Freshly I have created a plain server. When I have installed the web server over this plain server, I mean web server configurations. So ultimately this server is going to act as the web server. Okay now. So when I have installed the configurations of app servers over the plain server, okay now. So ultimately this server is going to act as the app server. Okay now. So again, when I have installed the database server configurations over the plain server, then the server is going to act as the database server. Okay now. So I will tell how to install the configurations, how to configure all. I will tell. So meanwhile, installation part, clear for all of you. How to install the servers. I will tell how, I mean, configurations in upcoming classes. So online clear for all of you. Great. So then next, after the installation of servers, we are having the architectures of servers. What we are having? Architectures of our servers. So now, majorly, we are having four types of, totally we are having four types of architectures. How many types? Four types of architectures. Okay, now so majorly we are having three types. How many types? Three types. So totally we are having four types, but majorly we are having three types of architectures. Okay, now. So let us discuss one by one. Okay, now. So totally we are having three, right? So the first one is about one tier architecture. What is it? One tier architecture. So the second one is about two tier architecture. So the third one is about three tier architecture. So online clear for all of you. So totally we are having three types of architecture. So the first one is about one tier architecture. Second one is about two tier architecture. So the third one is about three tier architecture. So let us discuss one by one. What is meant by one tier architecture? What is meant by two tier architecture? What is meant by three tier architecture? Okay, now. Okay. So now the first one is about one tier architecture. So the first one is about one tier architecture, right? So here tier is nothing but layer. Tier is nothing but layer. Layer is nothing but server. Layer is nothing but server. So ultimately I can call it as one server architecture, right? One server architecture. So totally in the name itself contain one server. So totally how many servers will present here? One server will present. So now how many types of servers we are having? Three, right? What are they? Web server, app server, as well as database server. So this is my server. Okay now. So within the only one server, I am having web server, I am having app server, I am having database server. Okay now. So then this type of architecture is known as one tier architecture, nothing but one server architecture. So example for one server architecture means, so let's say I am having laptop. So laptop in one word, I can say laptop is also the one server. Okay now. So I am having the laptop. So in my laptop, I am having the, let's say, VLC media. What we are having? VLC media. So let me open the VLC media. So when I have opened the VLC media, so it is going to provide one UI part, right? So nothing but it is icon. So this is the UI part, nothing but web server. So this is web server. So after opening the VLC media, so I am getting some options here, right? So open the media. Okay, now open the file. So my server is going to redirect to the another direction, nothing but another way. So this is gonna be the app server. Okay now. So when I have opened any video here, so my video was stored in somewhere, right? Nothing but database server. Okay now. So all the servers together in, I mean, placed in the single area, nothing but one tier architecture. What is it? One tier architecture. So online clear for all of you about the one tier architecture. Yeah, great. Super. So then next, after one tier architecture, what we are having? Two tier architecture. What is it? Two tier architecture. So two tier architecture. So here, tier is nothing but layer. Okay, na? Again, tier is nothing but layer. Layer is nothing but server. So ultimately, I can call it as two server architecture, right? So the name itself contains two server. So ultimately, how many servers will present here? Two servers will present. So let's say this is my server one, and also this is my server two. Okay, na? So in the first server, I'm going to install web server configurations. Okay, na? In the second server, I'm going to install app server configurations as well as database server configurations. So I'm going to establish the connections between them. So in upcoming classes, I will tell how to establish the connections between two servers, how to install the web app or database. So all will get you know. Okay, na? So meanwhile, so in two server architecture, totally how many servers will present? Two servers. So this is my server one, this is my server two. In my server one, I'm going to install web server configurations. Okay, now in server two, I'm going to install app server as well as database server configurations. So then this type of architecture, what we call two-tier architecture. Clear now? So example for two-tier architecture. Okay, now example for two-tier architecture. So I'm having my mobile, right? So totally I'm having my mobile. So in my mobile, I'm having YouTube or not? Ultimately, we are having YouTube. So actually, YouTube was present in your phone. Whatever the content in the YouTube, that was present in somewhere, right? So nothing but server. It was present on the server. So here your phone was server one, and the content that are present in the server is going to be the server two. Okay now. So example for two-tier architecture, phone as well as YouTube. Clear? Online clear for all of you. So remaining, I need a response from everyone. I can repeat number of times for you guys. So just all I need to is you need to be respond. Please. So now let us have a quick review. So from the first, okay na. So first, what we have discussed about the server, right? Okay na. So what is meant by server? Which provides the need of end user. Server is nothing but which provides the need of end user. Okay na. So now, how many types of servers we are having? Three types. What are they? Web server, app server, database server. So now, what is meant by web server? About the web server, what is meant by web server here? Yeah, which provides the UI part of our application, user interface part. Okay, now which provides the UI part of our application. So the next, who will work on the web server? UI, UX team. Which type of technologies they will use? CSS, HTML, Java, React, Angular. Okay, now so this type of technologies they will use. So wherever web server will present, presentation layer. Okay, now so you only saying the answers, so you can get to know them. Okay, so the next one. So after web server, what we are having? App server. Okay, now so in app server. Okay, now so where it will present? So now what is meant by app server? First, wherever logic was present. Okay, now wherever logic was present. So who will work on the app server? Dev team. Okay, now not DevOps team. Dev team. Okay, now so now this type of technologies they will use. Java, .NET, C, C++, Python. We are having the number of technologies. So where it will present? Logic layer. Okay, na? Where it will present? Logic layer. So after app server, what we are having? Database server. Okay, na? So now all the information will store on the database server. Okay, na? So who will work on the database server? Database team, DB team. Which type of technologies they will use? SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, Cosmos DB. So number of technologies here. Next, where it will present? Backend. Where it will present? Backend. So after this, what we have discussed? Installation of servers, right? So when you have taken a plain server, also when you have installed the web server configurations over the plain server, then the server is going to act as web server. Okay, now when you have installed the app server configurations over the plain server, then the server is going to act as app server. So when you have installed the database server configurations over the plain server, then the server is going to act as database server. Okay, now? So then next, after this, what we have discussed? Architectures of servers. So totally how many types of architectures we are having? Four types. How many types totally? Four types. So majorly three types we are having. So the first one is about one tier architecture. So the second one is about two tier architecture. So the third one is about three tier architecture. Clear now? So the first one is about one tier architecture. So here tier is nothing but layer. Layer is nothing but server. So ultimately I can call it as one server architecture. So the name itself contains one server. So how many servers will present here? One server will present. Okay now. So how many types of servers we are having? Three types. Okay now. So the first one is about web server, app server, database server. So all three servers has present in the single server. Then this type of architecture is called as one tier architecture. So example for one tier architecture, laptop. What is it? Laptop. So after one tier architecture, what we have discussed? Two tier architecture. So again two tier. Tier is nothing but layer. Layer is nothing but server. So ultimately I can call it as two server architectures. So the name itself contains two server. So how many servers will present? Two servers will present. So this is my server one, this is my server two. So in server one, I'm going to install the web server configurations. In server two, I'm going to install the app server as well as database server. So I'm going to establish the connections between them. So then this type of architecture is called a two-tier architecture. Okay now. So example for two-tier architecture. Mobile, YouTube. Okay now. So online clear for all of you up to now. Anybody has any doubts? That's great. So now next. After two-tier architecture, what we are having? Three-tier architecture. What we are having? Three-tier architecture. So again, tier is nothing but a layer. Layer is nothing but server. So ultimately, I can call it as three server architecture. Okay, now. So the name itself contains three servers. So totally, how many servers will present here? Three. So this is my server one. This is my server two. This is my server three. I'm going to establish the connections between them. So in server one, I'm going to install web server configurations. In server 2, I'm going to install app server configurations. In server 3, I'm going to install database server configurations. Okay, now, so then this type of architecture, we can call it as three-tier architecture. So example for three-tier architecture is nothing but same. Phone as well as YouTube. So way of arranging the app server as well as database server is the different here. Okay, now, so we can maintain app server for the different server. We can maintain database server for the different server. Way of arranging is the different. Okay, now. So the concept is the same. So I'll clear for all of you about the three-tier architecture. Great, super. Okay, now. So then next. So actually, I am talking about the server. Okay, now. So in generally, in generally, our laptop is also one server, right? Our laptop is also one server. Okay, na? So if my laptop needs to work, if my laptop needs to work, I need one OS, right? Ultimately, I need one OS. Now, what is meant by OS here? So, okay. So, operating system. So you are saying OS full form, operating system. So what exactly it will do? So online, anybody has any idea what is meant by OS? Don't say OS is nothing but operating system, operating system. So I am okay na? Application. Okay. Any alternative answers? What is meant by OS? Without OS, there is no laptop, right? We can't able to turn on the laptop. So now, what is meant by OS? So these all are the basics for the DevOps guys. Okay now. So just write it. User interface. Okay. Yeah. So next. So whether it is right or wrong, you need to be answered. So this session from the day one to till the end, the session is going to be like this only. This is gonna be the interactive session. Okay na? So just try to answer. So whether it is right or wrong. So manage all the other application program is great. So now let me tell you. Okay na, what is meant by OS? What exactly it will do? Means, so let's say we are humans, right? So ultimately, we are humans. We know Telugu, we know Hindi, we know English, we know Kannada, we know Malayalam. Okay, now. So any other language we know. So, but the machine, but the server, but the laptop will only understand binary level language, nothing but zeros and ones. So they don't know other than this. Okay, now only binary language they know. So if I want to communicate with my laptop, if I want to communicate with my server, I need one translator, right? I need ultimately one translator. Here, translator is nothing but OS. So ultimately, OS is nothing but which provides the communication between user as well as server. Nothing but laptop. Okay, na user inter. So clear for all of you. What is meant by OS? OS is nothing but which provides the communication between user as well as server or laptop. Anything is fine. Clear na? Online. Yes. So remaining, I have received only few responses. So if you go to the internet, you will get different definitions. Ignore all this. Okay now. So I will tell the simple one, shortest one, gunshot answer. That's it. Okay now. So then next. So basically we are having different types of OSs. So when you are using Windows, okay now, you will be having Windows OS. Okay now. When you are using Mac, so you will be having Mac OS. Okay now. When you are using Ubuntu laptops, we are also having the Ubuntu laptops. When you are using Ubuntu, you will be having Ubuntu OS. Okay now. So these all are the different types of OSs. Okay now. So actually this was nothing but we need to complete it on the Linux. Okay now. So from the day one, I'm going to start about the Linux. Without Linux, there is no DevOps. Okay now. So whatever the content you need for the DevOps. Okay, now I'm going to deliver that much. Okay, now. So actually, basically, you know what? Linux is gonna be the another course. Nothing but it's gonna be the administrator level. So whatever the DevOps engineer needed, so I'm going to deliver that. So first we are going to start about the Linux, and we are going to start about the Git. What we are going to start? Git. So after Git, I'm going to deliver GitHub, okay, na, and also Azure repos. Okay, na, as we are the course is about the multi-cloud, right? So I need to cover all this. Okay, na, first Linux, next Git, next GitHub, and then later Azure repos. Okay, na. So after this, I'm going to start about the Maven. What is it? Maven. Okay. So and also Maven MS build. What is it? MS build. So this Maven is going to be the Java. Okay. For Java application, I'm going to use Maven. For the .NET application, I'm going to use MS build. Okay. Now, so after this, I'm going to integrate these tools. Okay. Now, so Git as well as Maven with the Jenkins, I'm going to integrate. Okay. Now, so ultimately, after Git Maven, I'm going to start about the Jenkins. So these two tools are integrated in the Jenkins. Okay. Now, so after Jenkins, I'm going to start about Docker. What is it? Docker. So again, I'm going to integrate Git, Maven. Okay. Now, with the Docker. So all these three tools are integrated in the Jenkins. So after Docker, we are going to start about the Kubernetes. What is it? Kubernetes. So again, from the first, Git, Maven, Docker, Kubernetes, all are integrated in the Jenkins. Okay now. So after Kubernetes, I'm going to deliver with Ansible. Okay now. So again, Git, Maven, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, all are integrated here. Okay now. So and also I'm going to use the web servers like Tomcat. Okay now. So middle of the courses. Okay now. So I'm going to deliver about the Tomcat. So after delivering the Tomcat, I'm going to integrate with the Jenkins. Okay now. So later I'm going to talk about the Sonar Cube and also Nexus. Okay now. All whatever I am going to deliver, I'm going to integrate all at a time. Okay now. So this is gonna be the real time projects. Okay now. So what you are learning is complete the real time. Okay now. So and also I'm going to deliver about Azure, right? So Azure CI/CD pipelines. So tools are common. So in AWS DevOps, it is the common. Okay, in Azure DevOps, it is the common. In AWS DevOps, Maven is the common. So here Maven is the common. Okay now. So in the Jenkins part is gonna be the different. Okay now. So if you are AWS DevOps engineer, you are going to learn about the Jenkins. If you are an Azure DevOps engineer, we are going to learn about the CI/CD pipeline. So the concept all are the same, but the way of configuration, way of spell is gonna be the different. So online clear for all of you. So now, so totally, uh, let us have a quick review and then we wind up session. Okay, na? So let us have a quick review from the first. Okay, na? So totally what we have discussed in the past, server, right? Now what is meant by server here? Which provides the need of end user. Okay, na? Server is nothing but which provides the needs of end user. So totally, how many types of servers we are having? Three types. What are they? Web server, app server, database server. Okay, now. So the first one is about web server. Web server is nothing but which provides the UI part of our application. Who will work on the web server? UI UX team. Which type of technologies they will use? CSS, HTML, Java, React, Angular. Okay, now. So where it will present? Presentation layer. So after web server, what we are having? App server. Okay, na? So what is meant by app server? Wherever logic was present. Who will work on the app server? Data. DB, sorry, dev team. Okay, developers will work. This type of technologies they will use? Java, .NET, C, C++, Python. Okay, na? So where it will present? Logic layer. Great. So now after database server, what we are having? Sorry, after app server, what we are having? Database server. So who will work on the database server? DBT. Which type of technologies they will use? SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL. Okay now. MongoDB, Cosmos DB. This type of technologies they will use. So the next one is about installation of servers, right? So when you have installed the web server configurations over the plain server, then the server is going to act as web server. When you have installed the app server configurations over the plain server, then the server is going to act as app server. When you have installed the database server configuration, then the server is going to act as database server. So I will tell how to install the server. So totally, how many types of architectures we are having? Totally four. Majorly three types. So what are they? One tier architecture, two-tier architecture, three-tier architecture. So here tier is nothing but layer. Layer is nothing but server. So ultimately, I can call it as one server architecture, right? The name itself contains one server architecture. So totally, how many servers will present here? One server. Okay, now. So within the one server only, I'm going to install web server configurations, app server configurations, as well as database server configurations. Okay, now. So then this type of architecture, we can call it as one server architecture. Okay, now. So example for one server architecture, what is it? Laptop. So after one server architecture, what we are having? Two server architecture. Okay, now. So the name itself contains two server architecture. So totally, how many servers will present here? Two servers. Okay, server one, server two. In server one, I am going to install the web server. In server two, I am going to install the app server as well as database server. So I am going to establish the connections between them. Then this type of architecture is going to act as two-tier architecture. Example for two-tier architecture: mobile, YouTube. Okay, now, so after two-tier architecture, what we are having? Three-tier architecture. So in three-tier architecture, totally how many servers will present? Three servers will present. Server one, server two, as well as server three. I'm going to establish the connections between them. So then this type of architecture is going to act as three-tier architecture. So example for three-tier architecture: mobile, YouTube. Okay, now. So after that, what we have discussed about the OS, right? Now, what is meant by OS? Yeah, which will provide the communication between the user as well as laptop. It's nothing but OS. Okay, na? So next time, don't tell about the OS means operating system, operating system. Okay, na? So which provides the user, I mean, interface between user as well as mission is nothing but the OS. Okay, na? So it is going to convert high level language into the binary level language. Nothing but humans can understand the high level language only. Okay, na? Telugu, Hindi. Okay, na? So mission can understand only binary level language, nothing but lower level language. So it is going to translate from higher level language into the lower level language. Okay, na? So nothing but the OS. So types of OSs, what we are having? So we are having the Windows, we are having the Mac OS, we are having the Ubuntu. So these are all the types. So we will get to know that in depth in after upcoming sessions. Okay, na? So online, clear for all of you. What we have discussed today's class in today's class. Yes, clear na? So now about this class, in this class, anybody has any doubts? So anybody has any doubts? So if you have any doubts, you can ask. Not only for the session, in career related also you can ask. So జావా నేర్చుకోవాలా సో ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ అనేది ఆప్షనల్ అండి ఇట్స్ ఆప్షనల్ ఫర్ ద డెవాప్స్ ఇంజనీర్ సో మీకు ఉంటే ఇట్స్ గోనా బి ద అడ్వాంటేజ్ దట్స్ ఇట్ సో యాజ్ వి కెన్ సీ హియర్ వి ఆర్ గెటింగ్ ద వాట్సాప్ నెంబర్ సో who are attended for the demo to just try to ping there and just try to give your valuable feedback. Okay, now, so before wind up the session, how was the class today? So at least please respond for this question. Good. So from the day one to till the end, the session is gonna be the like this only. Okay, na? So this session is gonna be the interactive only. Okay, na? So just try to interact with me. You will get subject. So will you provide help? Yeah, resume interview. So actually, you know what? From Monday to Friday, it's gonna be the class. In Saturday, we are going to conduct the mock interviews, resume building, and also like rapport sessions. Like from Monday to Friday, what we have discussed. It's gonna be the repeat. Yeah, we are having resume buildings and then interviews. So the person who are joined in this course, for those people, communication classes are the free. Okay, na? Communication classes are the free. So any live projects. So in this course, we are going to deliver 5 live projects. Okay, na? So from the scratch to end, I'm going to build the live project. So will you cover GCP and big data in this course? No, only. So big data will not cover. So if GCP, so yeah, I will cover. So big data is gonna be the another part, right? So any alternative questions, doubts? So I'm going to pin one more time for yes, yes. Just try to ping in the WhatsApp. So do we need any certification for this course? So certification, it's gonna be the optional. Okay, na? So if you do the certification, you are having the major importance. That's it. So not for the mandatory. So if you do the certification, it's gonna be the good. So now any alternative questions? So that's it. So that's it from my end, guys. So if you have any doubts, you can ask, or else we can wind up the session for today. Communication, వేరే మేడం చెప్తారు. మేడం. So, okay then, bye all. Have a nice day. So, see you tomorrow. So, for career gap. So, actually, for the career gap, so we will having the session. So, if you have career gap, we are going to put some fake, right? So, ultimately, it's going to be work. Okay, now. So, no issue for the career gap students. So, we can also learn this course. And after the completion of course, we can put some fake. You will get to know. So, see you. Prashanti ji. So, what about the C? I haven't. So how much time it will take full knowledge on this course? So basically, it's gonna be that 2.5 months to 3 months. Okay, na? So if you need in depth, so we need to learn very in depth. So actually, I'm going to deliver the in depth only. So what you are taking, it's gonna be in your hands. Okay, na? So I'm going to deliver 2.5 months to 3 months. Okay, na? So way of getting to your minds, it's all about on your hands. So don't worry. This course is going to be the spoon feeding only. Okay, now so you can get very easy. That's it. This training is to fully about the DevOps or you are covering AWS as well. So we are covering AWS, we are covering Azure, and we also covering the DevOps. So the multi-cloud. Okay, now so if time permits, I'm going to deliver GCP also. Okay, now so no issue. So any alternative doubts? So okay then. Bye all. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.